What do you say to yourself when you fail? When life gets messy, plans fall apart, or you simply don't measure up to your own expectations, what's your inner dialogue? For most of us, it's harsh, judgmental, and unkind. We tell ourselves we're not good enough, that we should have done better, that our mistakes define us. But according to Dr. Kristin Neff in her book, this inner critic does more harm than good. Instead, she argues the path to growth, resilience, and peace begins with treating ourselves with kindness. Self-compassion, she explains, is the simple yet transformative act of extending the same care and understanding to ourselves that we would to a dear friend. And while her work is deeply rooted in modern psychology and Buddhist teachings, the wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers echoes her ideas in surprising and powerful ways. Dr. Neff defines self-compassion as having three main components: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. These three elements work together to help us navigate life's inevitable challenges with grace and resilience. Let's start with self-kindness. When things go wrong, our natural response is often self-criticism. We think that being hard on ourselves will motivate us to do better. But Neff challenges this belief, arguing that self-kindness, acknowledging our pain and treating ourselves gently, is far more effective. Imagine how you'd comfort a friend who's struggling. Would you berate them, or would you offer empathy and reassurance? Self-kindness is about giving that same compassion to yourself. The Stoics, while not known for softness, understood the power of this perspective. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This strength isn't about denying pain, but about choosing a thoughtful and measured response to it, one rooted in care rather than condemnation. The second element of self-compassion is common humanity, the recognition that suffering and imperfection are part of the shared human experience. When we fail or experience pain, it's easy to feel isolated, as though we're the only ones who struggle. Neff reminds us that this isn't true. Everyone makes mistakes, faces hardships, and experiences moments of self-doubt. Recognizing this shared humanity can be profoundly comforting. The Stoics expressed a similar view of interconnectedness. Seneca wrote, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." Far from being cynical, this statement is a reminder of our shared fragility, encouraging us to find solidarity in the fact that no one is exempt from life's challenges. The third pillar of self-compassion is mindfulness, the ability to observe our thoughts and feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them or suppressing them. Neff explains that mindfulness helps us approach our emotions with curiosity and acceptance, rather than avoidance or over-identification. When we're mindful, we can hold space for our pain without letting it define us. This aligns beautifully with the Stoic practice of controlling impressions. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." For both Neff and the Stoics, mindfulness is the foundation of resilience. It allows us to step back, observe our inner world, and respond with clarity and compassion. One of the most striking aspects of is Neff's critique of self-esteem. She explains that while self-esteem is often seen as essential for confidence and happiness, it has significant downsides. Self-esteem is conditional, relying on success, validation, or comparison. When we succeed, we feel good about ourselves. But when we fail, or when someone else seems to be doing better, our self-esteem crumbles. Neff offers self-compassion as a healthier alternative. Unlike self-esteem, self-compassion doesn't require us to be perfect or better than others. It allows us to acknowledge our flaws without losing our sense of worth. This concept aligns closely with Stoic teachings. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You are not a god, you are a mortal man." This humility isn't self-deprecation, it's a clear-eyed view of our humanity. By accepting ourselves as we are without needing to inflate or diminish our worth, we find a deeper and more stable sense of self. Neff provides practical exercises for cultivating self-compassion. One powerful technique is writing a letter to yourself from the perspective of an unconditionally loving friend. In this letter, you acknowledge your struggles, offer kindness, and remind yourself of your intrinsic worth. This exercise is deeply healing because it shifts your perspective, helping you see your pain through a lens of empathy rather than judgment. Interestingly, the Stoics also valued reflective writing as a tool for self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius's is essentially a series of letters to himself, offering wisdom, perspective, and reminders to stay grounded. Another key theme is resilience. Neff explains that self-compassion makes us more emotionally resilient, not less. While many people fear that being kind to themselves will lead to complacency, the opposite is true. Self-compassion creates an inner environment of safety and support, which helps us persevere through challenges. The Stoics understood this too. Epictetus taught that hardships are opportunities to strengthen our character. Difficulties show a person's character, he said. So when trouble comes, think of yourself as a wrestler whom God has matched with a tough young opponent. Self-compassion and Stoic resilience both emphasize the importance of meeting challenges with courage, patience, and care. One of the most profound lessons is its impact on relationships. Neff explains that when we're kinder to ourselves, we're naturally kinder to others. Self-compassion reduces defensiveness and increases our capacity for empathy, creating healthier, more connected relationships. This insight mirrors the Stoic belief in the interconnectedness of humanity. Seneca wrote, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." Both perspectives remind us that compassion begins with ourselves but doesn't end there. It ripples outward, improving not just our lives but the lives of those around us. Finally, Neff explores the role of self-compassion in letting go of perfectionism. She encourages readers to embrace imperfection as a natural part of life, reminding us that striving for perfection only leads to stress and dissatisfaction. Similarly, the Stoics taught the value of accepting life as it is, flaws and all. Marcus Aurelius urged himself to love only what happens. This isn't resignation, it's a call to live in harmony with reality, finding peace in the present moment rather than yearning for an impossible ideal. In the end, is more than a guide to being kinder to yourself. It's a blueprint for living a more connected, authentic, and fulfilling life. By blending Neff's insights with the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, we see that self-compassion isn't just an act of kindness, it's an act of strength. It takes courage to face our flaws, to embrace our humanity, and to offer ourselves the grace we so freely give to others. Self-compassion is a practice, a mindset, and a way of life that transforms not only how we relate to ourselves, but also how we show up in the world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more modern meditations.